Jack London, The Little Lady of the Big House, Part 57. Dick had known him years before in Paris, and Dick assured him if he ever drifted back to America of food and shelter. So here he is. And the poet? Graham asked, glad that she must still talk for a while, enabling him to study the quick dazzlement of smile that played upon her face. Oh, Theodore Malkin, though we call him Leo, he won't work either. His people are old Californian stock and dreadfully wealthy, but they disowned him and he disowned them when he was 15. They say he is lunatic, and he says they are merely maddening. He really writes some remarkable verse when he does write, but he prefers to dream and live in the jungle with Terence and Aaron. He was tutoring immigrant Jews in San Francisco when Terence and Aaron rescued him or captured him. I don't know which. He's been with us 2 years now, and he's actually filling out despite the fact that Dick is absurdly generous in furnishing supplies and that they'd rather talk and read and dream than cook. The only good meals that get is when they descend upon us, like tonight, and the he too. Who's he? That's Darhiel. He's their guest. The three of them invited him up, just as Aaron first invited Terence, and as Aaron and Terence invited Leo. Dick says in time 3 more and bound to appear, and then he'll have his 7 sages of the Madrono Grove. The jungle camp is in a Madrono Grove, you know. It's a most beautiful spot with living springs, a canyon, but I was telling you about Darhiel. He is a revolutionist of sorts. He is adept in our universities, studied in France, Italy, Switzerland, is a political refugee from India, and he's hitched his wagon to 2 stars. One, a new synthetic system of philosophy, the other, rebellion against the tyranny of British rule in India. He advocates individual terrorism and direct mass action. That's why his paper Kedar or Bedar or something like that was suppressed here in California, and why he narrowly escaped being deported. And that's why he's up here just now, devoting himself to formulating his philosophy. He and Aaron quarrel tremendously, that is, on philosophical matters, and now Paula signed and erased the sign with her smile, and now I'm done. Consider yourself acquainted, and if you encounter our sages more intimately, a word of warning, especially if the account be in the stag room. Their Hyle is a total abstainer. Theodore Macon can get poetically drunk, and usually does, on one cocktail. Aaron Hancock is an expert wine bibber, and Terence McFane, knowing little of one drink from another, and caring less, can put 99 men out of 100 under the table and go right on lucidly expounding Epicurean energy. One thing Graham noted as the dinner proceeded: the sages called Dick Forrest by his first name, but they always addressed Paula as Mrs. Forrest, although she called them by their first names. There was nothing affected about it. Quite unconsciously, did they, who respected few things under the sun and the moon, such few things not even work, quite unconsciously and invariably did they recognize the certain definite aloofness in Dick Forrest's wife, so that her given name was alien to their lips. By such tokens, even Graham was not slow in learning that Dick Forrest's wife had a way with her, compounded of sheerest democracy and equally sheer royalty. It was the same thing after dinner in the big living room. She dared as she pleased, but nobody assumed